welcome back to Homestead Corner. Today I've got a couple simple tips to jumpstart your preparedness. So there are still lots and lots of people out there, more than half the population, that are not prepared, not even for a simple power outage for just a couple of hours. They can't handle more than a couple hours because they're just not prepared for it. I mean, if we look back at that big storm in New York a couple of months ago, people died because they were not prepared for this. People did not have food in their homes. Some people do not keep 3 days of food in their homes. And I think that that is, you know, a bare minimum is keeping at least a little bit of food and a few supplies in your home. But a lot of people don't do that. And so today's video really is to help people get started that are kind of overwhelmed, because sometimes we just don't know where to start. It can definitely be difficult. And there may be some reminders in here for some of you that have been doing this for a really long time, but this is really geared towards people that are new. They're thinking about what they should do. Because I mean, if you go over to FEMA's website and look at their studies, there are quite a few people that are planning to do something, but haven't actually prepared anything yet. So in these times where everything is so unpredictable and we never know what's going to happen from day to day, I think it is so important to be prepared. So here are just a couple of ideas to help you jumpstart your preparedness. One of the first things is putting together a 72-hour kit. And this is just going to give you 3 days of supplies. And I like to make sure that we have a 72-hour kit for each person in the house. So if you have 2 people in your home, you're going to want to put 2 kits together. If you have 6, put 6 kits together. It costs a little bit more, but you'll be happy that you did it. Okay, for your 72-hour kit, you want to keep it kind of basic, but have everything you need in there. So the first thing that you want to make sure you have is a gallon of water per day per person. So 3 gallons for each person. Put that away. If you got 3 people, stick 9 gallons in there. You're definitely going to want to have that water. Some people are not going to drink a gallon of water a day, but you're going to use it for cooking and, you know, a little bit for cleaning. You're going to want a little more than a gallon a day if you're going to be cleaning up with it. The next thing you want to put in there is 3 days of shelf-stable foods. Now, this can be any kind of shelf-stable foods that you like. You could put granola bars in there, canned goods in there, all sorts of different stuff. Anything that is shelf-stable. Cans of soup, Chef Boyardee, can of vegetables. You can really do anything with it as long as it is shelf-stable. A lot of people buy those little cracker packets with the chicken and things like that. Those are nice as well. Maybe a few pieces of hard candy. It's good for the morale. And if you are going to be putting any kind of canned goods in there, I also make sure there is a can opener in there, a hand can opener. Because if you had to grab and go with your 72-hour kits, at least you've got a can opener with you. And so it can be just a little P38 thing that they use in the Boy Scouts or military. You can have one of those, a regular can opener, whatever. You definitely want something to open cans if you've got canned goods in your 72-hour kit. The next thing is a first aid kit. You want to make sure you've got some sort of first aid kit in there, bandages, gauze, tape, whatever you're going to use. Stuff for bigger cuts, smaller cuts, just some basic first aid stuff. Your Neosporin, you want all that. And another thing that we keep in there is a little bit of extra cash. You don't have to keep hundreds of dollars in there or anything, but if you've got 15 ones or something like that, it can help you in an emergency. That if everything went down and you needed to get milk or you needed to get something, you know, for your family, some kind of medicine or something like that, at least having a little bit of cash in there will help you, so you'll be able to get it until the power comes back or If it doesn't, it will help you as long as it's good. The next thing you want to put in those 72-hour kits is anybody in your family's medical needs. If they've got certain things that they use, if, you know, someone has an inhaler or anything like that that they need, you want to make sure that you have that. Maybe a 3 days worth of medicine, something like that in there. So just so you have it for those 3 days. It's not going to last forever, but it's 3 days and it may get you through a pinch when there's a small emergency. So, and you can really beef these up as big or as small as you want. And we keep them in backpacks because it's simple and easy, and they also serve as go bags. So if we had to evacuate or leave for whatever reason, we can grab those bags and go. So the 72-hour kit is really, it's multi-purpose. You don't have to have a different bag for every single thing, but you want to put a little bit more in there. If it's a grab and go bag, you might need a knife or some rope or a shelter or emergency blankets, things like that for that. But you know, your basic 72-hour kit, if you're staying put at home, it can be really simple. So you can make it as big and elaborate as you want or as small as you want. Backpacks, buckets, whatever you have. If you're going to put the whole family in one tote, everybody's stuff in one tote, that is another way to go. Whatever works for you, definitely. The next thing I think is really important to do right in the beginning is get your documents together. You want your birth certificates, your social security cards. If you adopted kids, you're going to want their adoption certificates. Things like that. There are so many things you want to keep together. Your insurance information, medical needs for each person, old photos, anything like that. You want to get those documents together so they're together. They're easy to grab and go if you have to, but they are easy to find in an emergency as well. So even if you're sheltering in place, but you need something, one of those documents, having to look all over the place can be very time consuming and stressful. And in an emergency, you're already stressed out. So if you've got all these documents together, and they can be copies of documents if you're concerned about having them all in one place. They could be copies, but something that shows, you know, you own the house, you know, these are your children, and, you know, this is your insurance, things like that. You want to have all that stuff together just to make sure that you have it. That is a great thing that doesn't cost anything, that you can just collect all this stuff together and know when something happens and you need it, you can find it. The next thing is digital storage. We live in a digital world. Everything is digital. We use phones, we use computers, tablets, all this stuff. We may have information on our computers or things like that that is pertinent and really, really important. So I think it's really important to make sure you have that digital stuff all backed up. Whether you're using they have external hard drives, you can put it on, little thumb drives, you can use those. There are a bunch of ways, or just printing out hard copies, I think is another really great way to go. That way you have got a hard copy of it. If the internet goes down or the grid goes down and you can't access any of this stuff, having a hard copy is really important. So you have it. And also the digital stuff can be great, and I know some people really like cloud stuff and, you know, that's out there in internet land. I don't trust any of that stuff personally. I mean, if there's no internet, I can't access it. It's no good to me. So hard copies are my favorite, but if you've got a jump drive or a little external hard drive, those are great. You can back things up like once a month, stick it away where you know where it is, and then, you know, every month just kind of update it. So you've got those important photos, important documents, and things like that that are just living on your computer. I think those also can be important besides your other stuff. And those are just 3 quick things I thought would be really easy to help jumpstart your preparedness, get you ready, and get you going on your way. So you are able to take care of your family when the time comes. If an emergency happens, it is so much nicer to know that you've got this and you don't have to worry about how are you going to figure things out. You've already started planning, getting things together, and it's going to help you and your family. And that's it for today. I hope you liked the video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.